Okay, so we continue with the model here. I have done something just to spend and go a bit faster in my process. I went in and I modeled the back leg. I'm looking on one side only, and I just simply did the same technique that we use for the forearm. Just created a diamond cut, and then from that diamond cut, start extruding out the leg, following my drawing and keeping it very blocky. Right now, that's what I have. We're gonna eventually going to mirror the character to the other side, so that I don't have to worry about it. I'm having to model the other side, or even keeping the mirroring tool, or the symmetry tool better. Doesn't work in every tool. Sometimes it gets a bit stuff, so I try to avoid it. If you like using it, that's you can try it, but I always prefer to work on one side and then I mirror the whole thing when I'm done. So let's take a look at modeling the hand or the feet. In that case, both have a similar case, and I have the case for. I'm gonna do the back foot first. The hand has 3 fingers, and the back foot has 4. I'm gonna try to create one from what I have right now. Let me try to go back to the side view here, and of course, if you look at it. It is pretty much an object on my drawing. The drawing is not perfectly aligned, as you can see here. So the drawing is a bit off in terms of the foot. So I'm going to try to ignore the front view for now a little bit. Try to work from the side and try to get it. So I know that they have 3 fingers. They're coming out from one side of a main central palm, and then of course the thumb that's going to come from the other one. So let me try to do that, and of course I'm not going to work from this object. I think it's easier if I avoid working from that object. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete these faces, and that gives me an open leg that I'm going to be matching it to later on, but I don't have to worry about that for now. I'm just actually going to work on the palm. I'm going to do it through creating a cube, and there it is. I'm just trying to move it over there. And I'm going to scale it down just to match the proportions on both directions, although the front view doesn't match the height perfectly, but I'm going to just keep it like that. And the side view, I'm going to just scale it down and rotate it around like that. So I'm going to try to do it like this and put it back, thinking that that is going to be my main blocking for my the palm. And from the palm, of course, there would be a thumb coming out, and the thumb would become like a sideways and backwards. Let me just go back here to my perspective view better. And that means that from the bottom part, I'm going to have the 3 fingers or the 3 toes, whatever way you want to call them. And then you're going to have from the side that thumb coming from here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say, okay, well, that means that I need to insert 3 2 edges there, just to generate the cut for 3 fingers. I'm going to do one horizontal here for me to have a possible work for a thumb to grow from. And I'm going to reshape this object a little bit, thinking that this is going to be the beginning of the thumb. I'm going to rotate it around a little bit there. I'm trying to push it back a little. I'm kind of guessing here because my front view is not giving me a lot of information. Actually, let me just do one thing. Actually, I'm going to try to go to the front view for a moment. I'm going to try to use this object. I'm going to move it down for a little bit. I'm talking about my, let me go to object mode first. I'm going to select my image plane. I'm going to translate it down a little bit just so that I have a better reference of it. I'll bring it back later on when I'm working on the face. But for now, I need, because my drawing is not matching, and this will give me some information that I will be able to use. Okay, that's a little bit better. If I hit 3 on this thing, I'm going to see it's still a cube. It's nothing special anyways. Alright, so that gives me a little bit of both. I'm going to go and grab this face again. Let me go to my perspective view, and I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna rotate that one there and try to do this and push it back a little bit, push it down, rotate it this way. So you've seen I'm kind of trying to model towards that thumb. And that one I'm going to extrude one more time. Let me go to model to version 1 there. Extrude one more time. I'm trying to pull out and then shrink it so that I can get a basic idea of what that thumb is going to be, or that, you know, side finger is going to be. So that's one. And of course I need to do the same thing for the other ones. I'm going to extrude this 3. I'm just going to say extrusion, but when I extrude I do not want to keep those faces together, so I'm going to go and turn them off. That way I can just grab them and move them individually or move them all together to generate the effect that I want. Of course they will look like that very badly. I'm actually going to keep it like this. Then I'm going to go do each one of them individually. I'm going to extrude that one more time. Go, click on it. I'm going to rotate to where it needs to go there. I'm going to just shrink it a little bit. Didn't shrink the previous one, I probably should have done. Let me just fix that one. Shrink it a little bit to match the size of that finger the best I can. I'm going to try to do that on this guy too. Shrink it a little bit here. And then I try to grab that face. I'm going to move it back. It's looking very skinny, so I'm going to try to go back and fix some of it. Grab this guy here, move it back a little bit, maybe scale it like that a little bit just to try to match my shape. And then of course I'm going to go and extrude it one more time. This is kind of finger, like a finger is kind of going backwards, so because it's going to bend to the front just to try to generate that second bending point there. If you work on one, it'll be a little bit easier to kind of block around it. I'm gonna just do one more time, one more extrusion from that one, forward, click on it, rotate, move it, scale it down one more time, up, and then from that one I could go try doing the extrusion for that claw. Let me see if I can just get it there for now. Move it up a little bit and then extrude that one out one more time, shrink in size, rotate a little bit, and then extrude one more time, pull it out, bring it down, pull it back up, rotate around one more time. Remember, you keep rotating so that your the flow of the edges match a better result, to give you a better result. Feels skinny, doesn't look perfect, but it gives me a good beginning. So I'm gonna go and grab actually this vertices here. I'm gonna go on this ones too. I'm gonna just sticking them up a little bit so that they don't feel so skinny. I'm gonna try to go to my front view and try to match the drawing the best I can. It's kind of a little too low. My drawing is not matching yet, so I'll try to move it out here, rotate it around a little bit, kind of changing the look of it a little bit on the front view so that I kind of match it. Again, my drawing is not perfectly because it's not matching the one there, but anyways, kind of trying to do the best I can with what I have. I probably would have been easier to model the front that was flat on the ground. Anyways, for now we're going to keep it like this one. You can use the same technique to model the one on the front. Right, so I have that. Let me go to my perspective view and I hit 5, so I got basically one kind of finger blocked. It's not perfect, but it's blocked. I think that what I want to do is just to spend a bit more time on it just to improve it. So I'm going to go insert, I'm just doing incremental save here quickly. And I'm just going to insert an edge right in the middle of that, and then another one right in the middle of that. So that way I have a bit more definition and a better chance to shape the object so that is not so sausage like, right, like that. And then this one too, try to bring it down a little bit. And actually I'm gonna just grab, let's see, this one I'm gonna rotate around a little bit here so that I can use there. I'm gonna insert another one here just for this transition. That way I got that one to sharpen that corner there a little bit better, like that and like that, and then bring it back out more like this. Same with this one, I'm gonna insert another one right there for that corner. That way I can grab and select that edge and kind of sharpen it up a little bit. What I'm trying to do here is trying to give a better presence of the finger, so that it has enough corner there. This one I'm going to just turn around so you generate both the pre and the after edges of that bending point to be enough for you to have a good wrinkle there. Alright, I got that. I got this one. I'm gonna just go and just move that one around a little bit, push it, and I'm gonna try to just do another one right here, which is going to give me the sharpness of the connection with the palm. But since I spent so much time on this finger, I'm gonna have to and I have to do the same thing for the other two. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just simply delete the other two. So I'm going to select all those faces there, make sure I don't select anything else, delete them, so I have that, and then I'm going to just go and duplicate this guy over there. And to duplicate it, I just simply have to detach it. So I'm going to select here, here, and there. There is nothing to detach there. I'm going to say edit mesh, detach, and what that does is just separates the finger from that. But you need to do one extra step to say separate. So now there are two different ones. I'm going to go and grab and duplicate this one, Control D, move it over, right? And of course I'm going to grab my front vertexes here. I'm going to press B to have my sub selection. That way I can modify it the best I can. I'm going to pull it forward. I'm going to just go and reduce the sub-selection area a little bit. So I'm going to just go and grab it there and then push it out some more to give roughly the same presence that that one has. Let's get this one up here and there. And then I'm going to grab the original one, duplicate it one more time. I'm going to use that one for the other finger. Only that I'm going to just try to mirror it to the other side like that. That's going to affect my some of the presence in the future, but for the UVs and stuff, but we'll take care of that a little bit later. Alright, so that one we got there. So we have the three fingers roughly. I'm going to bring them down a little bit so we can see the gap that they just made, and I have them separated there, and I have to create a connection with them. Now that's very simple. I'm just going to go and select those, select the palm again. Let me delete history on all of this stuff first. Delete by type history. I have not deleted history in a long time. So I'm going to just grab the four parts. I'm going to say mesh, combine, so they become a single object. And now I'm going to use my bridge tool to create a bridge between turn off sub selection. I'm going to create a bridge between that. Sorry, let me these guys. Those three, and those three. I'm going to bridge that. There we go. Then same thing, bridge from that guy to that guy. This one to this one. And of course these three to those three. Okay, So I have those three. If I hit 3, they kind of get looking like that, but of course they have a gap in between. So to fix that gap, I could try doing a couple little things or different things, and we'll try bridging from that guy to this guy, right? And then from that guy in the back to that guy. There we go. Same with this one. Let me grab this edge and move it to the side a little bit so I have more room to work. There we go. So I'm gonna grab this one and this one, bridge, this one and this one, bridge. Alright, I got a closed model there. And with 3, it's looking okay. It's not perfect. I'll need to go and fine tune some more, but it's giving me a good information to have a good looking finger or hand or toe, foot, whatever you want to call it. But in this case, this one is a little bit easier, and I'm going to keep this one as kind of like my loop for able to work on that toe there. So I'm going to just go and grab and extrude this one more time out. Gonna try to get it down, rotate it a little bit like that, bring it like this, and then maybe grab this edge and pull it back a little bit. That way it gives me a better chance to work with this face. Rotate it around a little bit and then do an extrusion, and then shrinking the extrusion. Same thing, you have to identify what that is. This guy can be a little bit thicker maybe, just to start kind of matching the appearance of that thing. This one might be a little bit thicker too. You can pull it out a bit more if you want, if it's not looking the way you want it. This guy is a little bit too thick in this direction, so I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna change the way it is shown again from object to component. That way I can shrink it here and there and there, much better. And then it's looking like a hand, and then I'm gonna just go and grab this face and extrude it a couple of times to make more like a claw type of thing coming out from it. And keep this one in there for a moment and then extrude one at a time, and this one is going to look like that claw thing that we're seeing there. I'm going to rotate it around a little bit, move it back a little bit, and then extrude one more time and get it to have that kind of pointy look that you want to have, moving it back to curve it some more. Alright, roughly it's giving me what I want. I can go back and fine tune some of those edges, trying to generate the best look I want. Roughly it's coming along. It's not perfect yet. There is a little bit of cube appearance to it, so I need to go and grab some of these guys here, and then maybe this guy out here, and maybe this way better, and this guy's upwards there. And what I need to know is I need to open up, of course, this face, these 3 faces, delete them, that way I have a hole opening there, and of course that hole is going to allow me to connect arm and leg at the same time. Alright, let me just save my file, and we'll continue the connection in the next video.